4 months from now, we will have an incredible victory, and we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We will very quickly make America great again.
You've been sleeping for too long. Time to wake up and get strong. Yeah, wake up.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning.
So because, 10 years ago, we had a global order, the liberal order. Then this order was repeatedly attacked, not only from outside, also from the inside, even from the United States, which was the architect, to a large extent, of this order, with the election of Donald Trump, which says, I don't care about any kind of global order. I'd only care about my own nation.
Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with felony violations of our national security laws, as well as participating in a conspiracy to obstruct justice.
Trump is your daddy. Trump is your daddy.
Because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, chat. How are you guys doing tonight? Welcome to the show. Why am I... It's still doing the thing. Okay, whatever. Can you guys hear me all right? All right, perfect. Anyways, welcome, guys. Welcome to the post-election show. We are still... I know people are saying, like, oh, it seems like things are getting quiet, but that's what makes me nervous. Remember, it's a long way to January 20th. Tacky on Black says, I sound great, actually. Thank you. Thank you. So, yes, this is the post-election. I mean, it is, though. I mean, there's so much now that we're now getting ready to deal with. We need food that doesn't get cold. We need a lot of things, chat. I think we're going to get them. I think we're going to start getting a lot of things here. I think it's going to start happening. Now, overall, and I think we just need to be realistic about things, too. Is this going to turn out exactly how, like, oh, yeah, it's going to be great? I think there's going to be some positives, but I think there's going to be a lot of issues at the end of the day. I'm not trying to scare anybody or sound like I'm downplaying it, but do I think a lot of this is going to do I think things are going to crash and burn? Sure. But I will say it will be hilarious in the meantime to watch Washington and the establishment try to struggle with how to deal with all of the chaos that has been thrown into their daily doing of things, which if that's the, on the downside, if that's the most that happens here, that's really not that bad. It's really not that bad, I don't think, at the end of the day. But hopefully that's not the, that's not the worst we get. But if it is, it is what it is at that point. Now, we do have some big updates. As far as you guys know, Matt Gaetz, I call him Gates. There we go. He was running as Attorney General. He's going to be nominated for it. He has withdrawn from the race. Now, there's all these allegations of what he did or did not do. And we didn't get to see the House report. And I actually do want to see that. I know some people are thinking, oh, well, they blocked it. And I'm like, that makes me very sus that they blocked it. The fact that they blocked it makes me very concerned. Like, what is actually in this thing? Is it anything really bad? I mean, yeah, there was some allegations he's paying hookers. I'm like, Okay, what's new? I mean, like, that's kind of par for the course in Washington. And depending on which, congressman you're thinking of, you know, at some point, killing hookers is kind of normal, or killing them is kind of a normal thing too. Where people have staffers that disappear and all kinds of nonsense like that. So I don't necessarily think that's an issue, but it does make you wonder what's there. I really do wish we got to see it. But for right now, I guess we'll have to settle. We'll have to make do. Personally, I don't like that, but, say la vie. Say la vie. Now, there is an update to that. Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General from Florida, is going to be running that to try to get the nomination. But we'll see what happens from there. And if you guys were wondering kind of what the breakdown of things are right now, this is kind of where we are with the cabinet. We have, oh, there we go. That's where it was. There are also some updates that we'll throw in here where did I put my window? There we go. All right. It's a shirtless stream. No, it's not so far. Kale Brick says, at least he paid for him. What's the issue? I mean, the allegations are there. I just want to see what happens. I just want to know what's there. I mean, yeah, if it's just hookers, I don't really care, but we'll find out. I mean, if it's what people are claiming it is, then yeah, he should go up on the wall, but we'll find out at some point. So right now, guys, here is the current Trump's cabinet and other important positions that were filled. Obviously, Matt Gaetz is gone. Pam Bondi's here. Kelly Loeffler, of Georgia, is probably going to be agricultural secretary for the Secretary of Agriculture. Linda McMahon is going to be appointed as director of education. We'll see if she gets confirmed. We have it's starting to fill out. So we don't know about the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, that critical post, and then the Secretary of Labor we don't have yet. There's a couple other people that have been named. Trump has named some people to be chairman of the FCC, the FDA, and the big one still is gonna be the FBI director. Who is he gonna put there? And it sounds like it's gonna be Mike Rogers, which makes me really upset. Even if the idea that Kash Patel is gonna be the deputy, I don't like that. I just, that's one of the big ones there. Like, let's see how serious you are about going after things. And I just, of all these other things out there, I'm willing to give him a shot on it. That's the one I kind of feel like Trump needs to be very, these people came after him, and, Mike Rogers is part of the establishment. He's a glowy. He's a former Fed. I don't like the idea of him being in charge of the FBI. So, free Brian Camp. Yes. Who did he name for Treasury? Oh, he named what's the guy's name? David hold on here. I had it. It's Scott Bassett. Scott Bassett. He is a guy's got a history doing hedge funds, other things like that. He is going to be running. That actually just came out. I forgot to mention that. That just came out tonight. How Scott Bessent. So he will be running the Treasury. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. It will be interesting to see how a tweet came out for Trump's people and they said no to Rogers. Thank God. Thank God. Although, you know what? Until things are done, who knows? Because we really don't know at this point. Ethan Ralph's press secretary, he'd be great press secretary. Anybody who'd scream at the press actually be very good at it. So I think that'd be fine. Now, there are some other things that are out there, and this is going to be interesting. I'm going to bring this up, and we'll find out how censorious YouTube is right now. We're going to find out how censorious YouTube is right now, chat. And this is something that came out on Veterans Day, and where is it? Hold on here. Sorry, I got to find the right tab. All right, here we go. All right. So if you guys remember the first time Trump got impeached, over the things with Ukraine. Yes, salami ukulele land. If you guys know it that way, and you guys know, no, I have nothing but love for the Ukrainian people. Nothing but love. Do you love Ukrainians? No, is really the answer. But they are out there. Well, if you guys remember, there was Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman was one of the whistleblowers, one of the people involved. But somebody else went ahead and brought things up to Congress. And this person was someone we could not ever talk about. You couldn't mention his name on the floor of Congress. That's how serious it was. And this guy was part of the National Intelligence Council. He was an analyst there. And the National Intelligence Council, it's an advisory board, and it basically, they report to the Director of National Intelligence, and they basically are the interface, kind of like the National Security Council is for the interface between the military and the White House. So it's kind of like the interface there. So they had an analyst, and his name was Eric Cimarella. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to say all this, but remember, he went ahead and ran to Congress. And Rand Paul tried to say his name on the floor of the Senate and was prevented. He was prevented from saying it. You could not go on Twitter and say his name. On YouTube, I remember this. You couldn't say his name on YouTube. People tried. I think Tim Pool tried to do it. He tried to say Eric Cimarella, and they immediately nuked one of his Timcast feeds. They were very serious about it. And what happened to the stream? Sorry. Well, if you guys have never seen or know who Eric Cimarella is, this is him. This is him right here. This is him. And nowadays, he is running around at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. Obviously, I don't think they're CIA funded, kind of like the New Democracy, NDP thing, but he is obviously in glowy there. He is a senior fellow in the Russia and Eurasia program. He focuses on work between Ukraine and Russia. So I'm sure he's all about giving the Ukrainians all kinds of fun stuff and exacerbating the war, and has no problem letting all the Ukrainians die. But what do we know about him? Well, apparently, and this is him. This is that cheese-eating rat. He's a spook. Yes, 100% a spook. He does look like Legal Eagle. Anyways, that worm. Well, at the end of the day here, he is now apparently, and this is from Paul Sperry, who is a pretty credible source on this. It does sound like he has been retained by Mark Zaid. He is a kind of fixture in the DC establishment. He is he's a Democrat lawyer, does national security law, and gets to run around in all these glowy circles, and is ready to leave the country to avoid possible retaliation, which I think is hilarious. Because if you're really going to go on the run, it's like there's nowhere to go. Like, you're going to hide from the United States government? You think you're going to hide from the guy you tried to fuck over? Like, I don't think you understand how that works. Like, there's nowhere to run, baby. There's nowhere to hide. I mean, if they're going to get you, they're going to get you. I mean, if you run to a remote place on the earth, that makes it even easier because they can just drone strike you. I mean, this is a guy, though. I mean, we probably should mail him out, some, mirror inspection devices. We should give him a vehicle inspection mirror just so he could check under his car every morning. I mean, it would probably be a good idea. It would probably be only what's fair for him. I mean, Just get him one of these. Because if I were him, I'd be checking my car every morning too. I check underneath my car every morning. He'll be protected in Canada. Maybe. Durkee McDirkface says he'll go full John McAfee. Well, that didn't work out well for John in the end. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to help. Katie says we could send him a beeper. That's a very good idea, Katie. Very good idea. So the only places that would be safe for him are Venezuela and Nicaragua. I don't think those would even be safe for him. So there we go. Tony says, is that how he checks his wife out? I bet it is. So, but yes, couldn't happen to a nicer guy. There. So that is, that's kind of one of the updates. I thought it was very interesting. We are seeing that this is starting to become an issue there. Trump once says, do you really check your own car? No, because I don't have those kind of enemies yet. If I had those kind of enemies, you bet your ass I would check, but I don't. That's the thing. But there are people who are in that situation. I just don't, I don't think that's something I have to be afraid of there. I don't think I have to be afraid of that, but that's, something theoretically could be there. But yeah, if you haven't, when evil men curse your name, you're doing something right. And that's not a bad thing when evil men curse your name. You're coming for me, Sandwich Man. Yeah, you got to be big time to check your car. Yes. Oh, I agree. My enemies wait in the bushes to surprise hug me. That would be terrible. That would be so scary. Scam like this, checking your background. Your enemies mean something very different when they're about the gay 90s life. Yes. And I'll find a Baldo stuffed in my tailpipe. I could see that. Happening. John Well Done says April's in the woods with her bow. I got a bow too, so we can play we can play tag with arrows. It'll be fun. All right, chat. So that I just thought it was very interesting to see that happening there. And then from here, we're going to be going into what happened in Pennsylvania. If you guys remember in Pennsylvania, there was an issue about the illegally cast ballots that were out there. There was a big issue that was going on. And the first issue there was down in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And once again, for those of you who don't know, I just dropped it. I just deleted the map because I'm an idiot. This is the county map of Pennsylvania. And from here, you guys can see there were a couple of different counties that were a bit of an issue here. So there was Bucks County. Oh, that's not good. There was Bucks County, Montgomery County, and Philadelphia County. They were the counties right here. And obviously, if you guys are aware, Philadelphia is the namesake for Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia. Many ballots were coming in. There was a sizable amount of ballots that were improperly marked, didn't have dates, had incorrect dates, weren't properly put together. And I will say, guys, if you've ever seen the mail-in ballots, they literally explain it to you like you're 5. And if you can't figure out how to do a ballot, at some point, I guess, too bad. I guess you don't get to vote at some point. You got to be able to follow some directions. We do operate with some basic rules here in America. Well, the county commissioners in Bucks County actually had gone ahead and decided that they were going to count them. And this is the county commissioners in Bucks County. And you guys can see here, we covered this before, but this is, listen to this. Listen to the one county commissioner.
We reject all 3 categories of these ballots. Your motion is to reject or dismiss the challenges in this category in front of you?
Correct. Yep.
Not going to second that, mostly because I think we all know that precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country, and people violate laws anytime they want. So for me, if I violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it.
We reject
So there you
all
go.
three categories of these.
So that happened. Well, you know, they wanted people to pay attention and they wanted a court to ignore it. Well, a court noticed it. A court noticed them. A court noticed them. Mogaslawa says, your stream says the election has been called. Are you aware of this note? Yeah, that's one of the notes they throw in there. Yes. So as much as they wanted something to happen, yes, I want a court to get involved. Well, guess who got involved? The Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. And oh boy, they got involved here, chat. They got very much involved. I know I covered this last night, so we aren't going to harp on this too much, but it is very fun to see what they did. Now, this is from the RNC and the Republican Party of Pennsylvania versus all 67 county boards of elections. You guys didn't realize, from looking at that map of Pennsylvania, there are 67 counties here, and you know, the counties or the states that were part of the original colonies, God, your county maps are just garbage. I mean, like, look at these places. Like, look at this right here. Just don't make no sense. That just, ugh, what is that? What is that at the end of the day, huh? What is that? What is that? So, regardless, all 67 were involved in this action. So this is a lot more in a strongly worded letter. This is, who said that? I know it's the mountains there, but it still looks really goofy. It looks really goofy. It's called geography. I understand, but come on. It's an impassable mountain range. I know, but I feel like they can make it work for that. It just looks awful. Yes, but Adam, this is far more than a strongly worded letter to all 67 county boards of elections. So the Supreme Court made an order in per curiam. I mean, they're all agreeing on this. So the application for leave to intervene by the Democrat Senate committee and Bob Casey, who is the incumbent, who is running as a Democrat, is granted. They were allowed to enter. The application for leave to file an amicus brief filed by the Secretary of State and the Commonwealth is granted. So that said, the Supreme Court then goes on to say we are exercising King's bench power, which is because they were founded by the king through a royal warrant. That's why they have all these goofy things. They assume the authority over this instant application. And because it's an election, they have the authority to immediately assume control of a court case. They're not going to make it weave its way through the process. They said, nope, we're going to take it. It's ours. And they said this to direct at all respondents, meaning, once again, all 67 county boards of elections. Because if you notice, they are the respondents. Including the boards of elections in Bucks County, Montgomery County, and Philadelphia County. Remember, they picked those three specific, they named them for a reason. Shall comply. Shall comply. With the prior rulings of this court, which we have clarified that mail-in and absentee ballots that fail to comply with the requirements of the Pennsylvania Election Code shall not be counted for purposes of the election held on November 5th. I mean, and they're like, look, we're going to make this as clear as possible. You are not to do what you're claiming to do. And that's it. Done. Every other application is denied. This order shall be authoritative and controlling in all such matters as to all county election board members. So they're saying, nope, that's it. We're done. Completely done. Done. That's it. No Pants Baby says yes, and that appears to have been an issue. They may have accidentally mixed in some ballots. But yes, denied like Nick, yes. They get denied. Now, do they have this is actually a good question. Does the Pennsylvania Supreme Court have its own equivalent of Marshal Service? Not that I don't think any state actually does. They rely on these people being held in contempt. There is no Marshal Service. So, no. But here's the thing. Even if you defy the United States Supreme Court, they're not sending the Marshal Service after you. So, but yes, they are done. They are done. Yes, you wanted attention, baby. You got it now. Just like in Tombstone. You wanted to call down the thunder. Well, now you got it. And it actually got better. It actually got better, guys, because this week they had a hearing. They had an open session, and people showed up. People showed up. And, well, it got very interesting. It got very interesting. DS says here they would call the Texas Rangers. Yeah, I could see that still. They could still call it. But here we go. So people showed up to a county commissioners meeting, and see, there they are again. And here's her running her mouth. You know, this is her right in the middle. This guy over here is the Republican. He is he was like, I ain't part of this, but you know, these two, and especially her sitting there, well, they gave her a mouthful.
Last Thursday, when you were deciding that you should count illegal ballots, missing at least one signature, the attorney said over and over again that it is illegal to count these. Diane said, quote, precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country, and people violate the laws anytime they want. So for me, if I violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to me. You, being the slick politician you are, you didn't even say yes or nod your head. Your eyes were closed and your face was expressionless. Bob, this was your opportunity to be a leader. You could have put a big brotherly arm around her and said, there, Diane. I know you're very passionate about this, but we have to follow the law. You could have done this, but oh no, what did you do? You voted to violate the law along with her. Diane's actually right, though. The law doesn't matter anymore in this country because people like you violate it all the time, and all we the people do is sit here and complain. Well, I want to let you know that I'm not going to take it anymore. I have decided to file a criminal complaint against both.
Now, really, I think at the end of the day, what she should be saying here is, if you guys go outside, we're going to tar and feather your ass, or you better be faster than me because I'm going to beat you with an axe handle. That's really probably what we should be seeing. But I guess this is a start. It's a good start that people are here at least pissed off. But, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just thinking out loud, chat. So I'll give her credit for at least threatening him.
Both of you for breaking the following laws. Title 25, Section 3050, Title 25, Section 3501, Title 25, Section 3510, Title 25, Section 3527, 52 U.S.C. 10308. Oh, and by the way, Gene, when they're arrested, we want an evening town hall style commissioners meeting once.
And they stopped her. So, I mean, nothing's going to happen. You think the Pennsylvania government, you think Governor Shapiro is going to do anything about this? I hate to say it, Chad. I'm not trying to blackpill you, but nothing's going to happen. Like I said, you know, tarring and feathering people would probably get a lot more done. So, I'm just saying. Counting votes how the Battle of Athens happened. Yes, it is. So, this might even escalate to a Post-it note with a Sharpie. So, yeah, strongly worded letters. That guy's wearing my pants. Yeah, those pants look like they've been through a lot. Yes, we will file charges. Yeah. Nico says, good to see Neurotics keep you busy. Oh, Gary lives in Pennsylvania too. But yes, I think it's clear we are living in a lawless land now. We are living in a lawless land. So it was very interesting to see how these people were starting to react and starting to go forward with things. Now, did 2.0 say something? Okay. Now, moving on to governments and people that aren't willing to abide. Remember when I told you things are going to start going and they're going to start going fast? Well, we're there. We're kind of getting there. Midnight Nexel says TLDR and what you just missed. You missed everything. We're actually done, guys. So that's it. Everybody, see you later tonight. Have a great night, everyone. Now, this is where I think things are going to start getting out of control. The mayor of Colorado, the mayor of Denver, the mayor of Colorado, the mayor of Denver, Colorado, a very left-leaning stronghold, Mike Johnson, has challenged Trump to try to deport any illegals in his city, saying he would deploy the Denver police. It's one thing for you not to help, and that's fine. You don't have any obligation to help the federal government. So if I'm the police chief somewhere and the feds come in and say, will you help us? I could say, fuck off, kick rocks. But to actively, and here's the thing, this is where, in chat, we've been having power issues all day, and we had power issues last night. If we go down, I'll be right back. Anyway, the idea, and this goes back to, and I'll just say it like this. When you hear about the Second Amendment sanctuary states or counties, and they're like, we're not going to help. Okay. What happens if the ATF starts coming in and rounding people up, or some guy builds a machine gun? Is the sheriff, are you going to stop them? Are you going to pull your guns on federal agents? It's not going to happen. Well, here, are the Denver police going to pull guns on ICE doing an immigration raid? No, it's not going to. You'd like to think, like he likes to think so. But at the end of the day, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. But what I do see happening here is this. Volunteers from the local community. Now, what does that actually mean? Who are volunteers? Who would be... Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Hold on. Hello? Can you hear me now, chat, or no? Okay. Who would be on that? Who are the local volunteers? I mean, I have a feeling I know who it is. God dang, man. They don't want me to get the truth out, chat. The globalists are trying to stop me, chat. The globalist. Yes, Antifa. And any other sort of revolutionary communists that are out there. And there are a lot of them in Denver. There are a lot of them in Boulder. And Denver and Boulder are like right next to each other. So guess what? It'll be very interesting. And Garrett, as you say, yes, volunteers. You mean insurrectionists who are trying to stop the government? Yeah. Which we've learned now, apparently there's only one way to deal with an insurrection. Well, when it becomes an insurrection, you put it down ruthlessly. But the volunteers will fight the feds, as we've seen in Portland. And it's interesting that Antifa has been quiet for 4 years. It's almost like they have handlers, and they didn't have any funding. And it's very interesting now that they aren't doing anything, because it's like they have no funding or organization right now. Because it's almost like it's generated for them by other people. Really? Wow. I mean, of course, that's what's going on here. But I could see him trying to mobilize local Antifa. Now, would he try to deputize them or make them like, honorary police. No, I think he would just turn them loose and have them go forward to the streets, because who are the volunteers? What are they going to do? And he wants them to use force against federal agents trying to deport illegals. And he tries to say more than us having DPD stationed at the county line to keep them out. I don't know if that's going to work like you think it will. You would have 50,000 Denverites there. It's like Tiananmen Square moment with the rose and the gun. Mayor Johnston. Hold on. What did you go to college for here? What did he? Let's see. Let's look him up. Mayor of Denver. Mike Johnston, the Colorado politician. He is 50. He went to Yale for his BA. And he got a JD. Oh, fellow lawyer. And he went to Harvard to get his Master's of Education. Okay. So, let's see here. So he was an English teacher. Okay. He taught English. All right. Okay. Not a history buff. So I guess my question for him is, do you remember, Mayor Johnston, Tiananmen Square did not turn out like you think it did. If you guys have never seen, yes, Tiananmen Square was a big protest. But there was a second part to Tiananmen Square. And the government came in. And if you've never seen the pictures of Tiananmen Square, when the tank's coming in, the guy with the Kroger bags is standing in front of it, and he just starts getting in front of the tank, the T-64s. Yeah, it doesn't end well. I mean, literally, there's a picture of Tiananmen Square littered with bodies. Just covered in bodies. It was a massacre. And then what happened after Tiananmen Square? The government survived. Tiananmen Square was 35 years ago. And what happened? Not a goddamn thing. I mean, so, yeah, they killed everyone and it didn't change anything. Yeah. I just, when you're threatening that, now, I mean, maybe he likes that because remember, I mean, there is the idea, chat. There is the idea, and I'll just say this. The best killer of communists are communists. So maybe that's what he's trying to get at there. I don't know. Like I said, it really makes me wonder, what does he think he's doing? What does he think he's doing there? But I say you would have every one of these Highland moms who came out for the migrants. You don't want to mess with them. If you guys remember in Portland, they had the wall of bombs. Well, guess what happened? The police fucking smashed them apart when they got in the way. Yeah. Adam Wright says the government did it for the art of it, Sean. Yes, they did it for the culture. Well, yes, they were the status quo. So you could argue they were doing it for the culture. Bella says, easy, they want martyrs. Yeah, everybody likes to say they want a everybody wants to be a martyr and everybody wants to be in the resistance until it's time to do resistance shit. Become a martyr. It sounds great to you. You really are the martyr, Everybody wants to be a martyr till you realize how Bobby Sands became a martyr and known throughout the pages of history. You really want to starve to death in prison? By all means. So, so there you go. Yes, Type 59 tanks, DF88 wants to correct me. Yes, my apologies. Type 59 tanks. I'm sorry, chat. Yes. But yes, I think that's We need to be factually correct with our identification of military hardware. So there's nothing wrong with that. Now, in another issue that I think kind of spawned the election this year was the murder of Laken Riley. If you guys remember Laken Riley, she was a student at the University of Georgia. And I know many of you here followed along with this because we covered it this week. She was a student at the University of Georgia, and she was murdered by a guy named Jose Ibarra, who, surprise, was a guy from Venezuela who wasn't allowed to be here. And his trial was this past week. It ended on Wednesday. Shocker, spoiler alert, he got life in prison without parole. And, you know, that became a rallying cry for people to focus around. Well, he got convicted. It wasn't really, like I said, it wasn't exactly it wasn't a hard case. It is truly scary, though. If you guys go back and watch it, because we covered all 4 days of it, the amount of, because he did it basically on campus. The morning of it, he was up at like 4 in the morning, and he spent the whole morning drinking and then was wandering around campus and at one point he tries to get into a girl's apartment. I'm prowling on the doors, and then he starts prowling around the graduate student housing. And he's on camera just creeping around, being a big piece of shit. And it's like a lot of women walked by him, and like brushing up against the Reaper is like, I can only imagine how many of them are terrified now that they almost got killed. So, yes. So anyway, he was convicted, but MSNBC, in the response to his conviction, just stepping all over their dick, put an article together saying Laken Riley's killer never stood a chance. Now, this is the actual article headline here. And it said, for all the political controversy surrounding Jose Ibarra, the outcome of this trial was never in doubt. Now, is it really, like, at the end of the day, he was saying, like, it was clearly, and I read the article, it was clear Jose did it. There was no question. It was an open shut case, and it truly was. But I think it was important to watch it because, she deserves justice. And this is a big part of, Kamala and Joe letting this guy in. This guy got into America. He got caught. And then he got released. And then he got sent to New York City. And then they gave him a plane ticket. Where do you want to go? He's like, I want to go down to Georgia. And they sent him to Georgia. All this, the human trafficking that the government's sanctioning now. And trafficking these illegals everywhere. That's what caused this. Had they not done this, Laken Riley would still be alive. I mean, it's not like it's every other job. It's not like he's doing the jobs we won't do. I mean, they're like what he did, it wasn't like if he didn't do it, someone else would have filled the gap. And now we found out, and this is the great part, he's part of Tren de Aragua. Yes, that Venezuelan street gang. The Venezuelan street gang that we learned about has been terrorizing Aurora, Colorado, but then they said it wasn't happening. But then they're like, okay, yeah, it actually is happening, and it's really fucking bad here. Like, oh my God, help us. But wait, I thought they weren't a threat. But wait, they are a threat now. Huh. Yeah. Dennis Heaton says, my wife from Venezuela told me he was a gang member the first time she saw him on the news. Yeah. So, but yes, he was a gang member, Tren de Aragua. His brother is part of it. And it's funny, his brother is now, because he raped and murdered Laken Riley, his brother is now getting held for federal immigration fraud. And it's funny, his brother's going to get deported. But you know what, Jose? He gets to stay in America forever. I mean, so on the positive note, chat, this life in prison without parole, Jose, you never get to leave, brother. You get to stay forever. You got what you wanted. Ha 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 ha. So good news there. Good news there. Oh. Yeah, and that was the other thing. He tried to stitch up his brother for the rape and murder. Yes. Yes. Yes, I know. Yes. Yes, and now that Jose Ibarra is in prison, we'll never cure cancer. That's the sad part. Logical bystanders, right? We'll never cure cancer now. Which really sucks. Which really sucks. But now getting back to this article, yeah, it is pretty obvious. But the way this article was written was just really, really retarded. And it's just, when you read it, you know, the guilt of Laken Riley's killer is never in doubt. Yes. But obviously MSNBC, they can't keep their mouths shut. They can't keep their mouths shut. They can't just leave things alone. They have to talk. But they point out that it became a national rallying cry. Yes. Yes. It should be. Laken Riley was minding her own business, going for a jog, and he murdered her because she didn't want to get raped. And I will say this much. Laken Riley fought hard. She fought back. Laken Riley fought, guys, and we haven't seen the trial. She made him pay. Her fingernails were full of his DNA. He had scratches all on his face and his hands and his back. You know, she fought. And I will say I'm glad she fought. But, yeah. So. But yes, her murder became a center point. It should be. She should be. This should be a big thing. Why did you let this happen? If it only saves one life, we hear that all the time. You know, we're here to protect women. There's a woman who needed protecting. You didn't protect her. You didn't protect her. Why did she have to die? You know, the verdict was always going to be guilty. The sentence was life without parole. Now, is the issue here, was this just a retarded article? Yes. But you know what they wanted to do. They know what you wanted to do here. And they said that, you know, but apparently he also had no chance with the judge. I mean, listen to this guy. He had no chance with the judge. There was no chance for him. He literally they caught him red-handed. And notice he goes on here and saying that in my experience, judges appreciate people who don't waste the court's time. And sometimes a bench trial can help avoid the trial tax and the harsher sentencing when you go through a 3 or 4 day trial. No, he got a harsh sentence because he murdered a woman because she didn't want to be raped. Because he's a fucking savage. Jose Ibarra is a feral animal. And it's too bad none of those women carried weapons. Like, I wish Laken Riley had a knife on her and she stabbed him right in the dick. I do, and I wish he'd bled out and it was painful for him. Sadly, that didn't happen. Or that apartment he was trying to break into, which he was doing the morning of, right? Like an hour before he killed Laken Riley. I wish that girl had a gun and shot him in the face. That didn't happen either, sadly. But as he says, in this case, the judge cut him no breaks. Well, there's no breaks to cut. There's nothing there. Because he says he cut him no breaks, but there wasn't much to decide. Okay, so what? Like, are you mad? Like, you're mad that this guy committed it, got caught red-handed, and they charge him properly? Like, what do you want him to do? What do you want him to do here, man? You know, this is like retarded. I mean, like, what do you want him to happen? This guy just goes on. He's like, the judge also hit him hard with consecutive sentences instead of concurrent sentences because he did something really fucking awful. Really, really awful. Really awful. And this is where, you'd like to say, oh, well, it was just poorly worded in the thing. But no, when you read the rest of this is him crying about it. He's so sad. The heckin' immigrant is going to prison forever. My heckin' Venezuelan Renos. Oh, there are heckin' food service workers. Oh, my heckin' landscaper, he's gone now. I will have to pay more for basic labor. Oh, no. From the Reddit tip. Alicia Heaton says, who the fuck wrote this article? What is his fucking name here? Let's see. Let's bring it up. What is Peckerwood's name here? Danny Savalos is a legal analyst who practiced in areas of personal injury. Wrongful conviction in criminal defense in Pennsylvania, New York, and the Virgin Islands. And he has his own law firm. Okay. But, just who the fuck do you think you are with these people? These people. The fucking nerve to do that in this case. Yeah, really, it is true. We love our Venezuelans. We love our Venezuelans. We love our Hispanics. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet. We're going to beat your daughter to death with a rock. Ooh, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Venezuelans. We love our Hispanics. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet. Pretty much. Yeah, he was a dreamer. You call me a dreamer. Yeah, it just... It smells like sulfur. Yes. You guys clip this shit. Well, go tell Alyssa. Guys gotta go run to her the DMs like, my guy, Alyssa, Sean said something. Go clip it. Stallion, we got work. All right, so just fucking, it's sad. It's so goddamn sad. It's so sad. Hold on, chat, 1 second. It's Stalin 19, apparently, according to 2.0. It's Stalin, not Stallion. I don't... What? I thought it was like a take on Bill and Ted. Well, you've never seen Bill and Ted, so this doesn't help. Wild Stallions, they have a Y in there. That's why I'm like, everybody calls it Stalin 19, but it's like, is it Stalin or Stallion 19? Nobody's really clarified that for me. Yes, tomato. So, sorry, chat. If you guys are new, my lovely producer, future Mrs. Martin 2.0 is out there. So, she has seen Bill and Ted, chat. She has seen Bill and Ted. So, did I see the clip of from Geeks and Gamers? Yes. Is Chef Clyde got a YouTube channel? At some point, he might, chat. At some point, he might, Scott. All right. Moving on from there, there's some other stuff we need to talk about. And this is some gun-related information. So, this is actually really good. And this comes to us from... this was put on Twitter by Casas Moros. He is an attorney out doing work in California for California Rifle and Pistol Association. He's actually a really good follow on Twitter if you guys don't follow him. A lot of information out there. Very good guy. I like all the stuff that he talks about. Now, and it's really great. Gallup polling has found that support for a handgun ban is near a record low. And this is hilarious because if you think about it, we had Kamala running around saying, I own a gun. It's okay to own a gun. I like my gun. I'm not going to take your guns away. By trying to shill that whole gun vote thing, all of that, they literally drove down support within their own party to own fucking gun, for gun bans, for a handgun ban. Like, that is so funny. They drove it. They've helped nosedive it. The worst, in 25 years. Look how low it is now, chat. Like, you played yourself, Kamala. And the Democrats played themselves. Like, look, near 50% in 2000. And now in 2024, only 33% of them are disgusting, complete scumbags. But even among independents, it's gone from 30% to 22%. And then this is the part I don't like. There were Republicans at 25%. Goddamn fuds and boomers. Now it's down to 6%. We're based. That number's still high, though. We need to get that number lower. We need to get that number all the way down here, chat, like this. We need the number right here for that. Negative. Negative. We need that number down there. So, Yamal says it should be 0. How are you, Republican? Remember, there are still boomers, and then there's people like Mitt Romney. So, yes. Did they play around, or did it just get that bad in the city? Well, yeah, we'll get to that. Now, that said, the whole thing with guns, I will say this much. Pam Bondi talking about red flag laws and shit like that really scares me. I don't like the fact that the Attorney General is out there running her yap about it. So yeah, I just, there's some things he's done great, but once again, this is one of those ones I think is going to bite us in the ass. But we'll see. We'll see. It's I mean, it's Pam Bondi's not even a deep, you can't call her deep state. She's just, it's just Trump could have, yeah. So, yeah. And the labor secretary is nobody. I didn't think he had a labor secretary yet, but yeah, I'm fine with them being nobodies. I'd rather they be nobodies. So, yeah, Pam Bondi is one of the people who'd be in the 6%. Yes. But it gets even better. There is another one here, and this is actually very interesting. And this is the Democrats most supportive of assault weapons ban. This is done by Gallup as well. So they can't cry and say this is unfair polling. This is by Gallup. They have to love Gallup on the left. Among U.S. adults, in August of 2019, 85% of Democrats want an assault weapons ban. In June of 2022, it was 89%. And now in October of 2024, it's down to 82%. I guess all that time worrying about Hitler, you realize, oh my God, if I really think he's Hitler, I should probably own guns. Now, these numbers, I think, are heavily skewed, and I don't think are fair reporting. Because I think they say, would you like to see, are there gun laws, if there were gun laws that could be passed that could help, would you think that's okay? I think right here, these are dishonest numbers in the polling. I think these are a lot of bullshit. So I'd like to think so. That's why I'm trying to have some faith there. But obviously the normies are fucking, yeah, whatever. I think these are probably not as high as they are. But either way, the numbers are still going down. And among independents, the numbers are going down. Not as fast as they need to be, but overall, it's a downward trend. So that's good. It's always good to see downward trends like that. So just have faith, chat. Have faith. So there we go. All right. Let's see here. Yes, and that's the thing. Trump had 2 assassination attempts, and guns are still at an all-time high. And yes, Yamal, yes, she was his Pam Bondi, as I talked about last night, defended Trump during his impeachment. And yeah, so she's got a lot of sway with Trump. Ultimate says, we wouldn't have Pam if Matt Gaetz knew to pay in cash and never in writing. Yeah, never Venmo your hookers, never write checks. But yeah, don't Venmo your hookers, pay them in cash. So, wait, Pam Bondi's a Scientologist? No way. No way, that's not true. That can't be right. I swear to God, it's not right. I hope to God that's not right. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Well, here we go, chat. There's something. So this is Pam Bondi's Wikipedia. Okay. So fundraising controversies. Ooh. Oh God, what is this? What is this? Yes, it's true. No. Yes, she is also the lady who pursued the prosecution of George Zimmerman for air conditioning Trayvon Martin. That's not true. That's 100% true. Uh-oh, here. Let's see. Yeah, I know Grant Cardone is, though. I know Grant Cardone is. Grant Cardone's a scam artist. Let's see what she did here. So beginning in 2010, her association with Scientology and multiple wealthy fundraisers that wealthy Scientologists organized for her political campaigns and promote controversy. She justified her speeches before the Scientologists by arguing they wish to crack down on human trafficking. Where's Shelly Miscavige? Ugh. No, I say something out loud. Bondi also pressured two attorneys to resign who were investigating LPS, a financial service company now known as Black Knight, following the robo-signing scandal when she was doing stuff for the Florida Economic Crime Division. After their resignations, she received campaign contributions from them. Okay, and then well, that's interesting. So she's in bed with Scientology. God. Yeah, Scientology wants to cut down on the competition in human trafficking. The channel Growing Up Scientology did a recent video. Okay. Oh, Wikipedia's propaganda. Well, that's pretty good propaganda. She's taking them down from the inside. Oh, that's exactly what she's doing. You're right. J-Rock, can you fix a Scientologist? Adam says, believes Wiki, a new low is unlocked. Okay, you know what? Here's the deal. Okay, so let's see here. Did she do it? Okay, so let's see. For the Tampa Bay Times, there you go. So now we're gonna... There you go. Does that make sense? Oh, no, you're not believing Scientology. Wah, 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 wah. It's all there, chat. Oh, my God, that's so horrible. Are you tired of all the winning? I don't know. There's some winning here. I don't know. I just, all I want somebody is just to start collecting scalps in the DOJ. Even if it's just one scalp that gets collected. I just want one person scalped. Publicly. Zeno endorsed Pam Bondi. Oh, no. Will she swear an oath to Zeno or Zenu? Yes. What level OT is she at? OT 50? Or is she clear? Is she beyond clear? Oh, Sergeant Dorn says, my dear Snow Bunny is a Scientologist. Oh, no, yeah. She's at least an OT 5. An OT 7? Whoa. Very nice. Very nice. Oh. That's not good, Chad. That's not good. But like I said, going back to the gun stuff, yes, the Anti-gunners, yes, they've literally shot themselves in the foot. So it's good news. Good news, chat. Good news all around. Good news all around. And another example of this is just kind of sad to see. So she had one fundraiser. Now she's a Scientologist. Yeah, that's still a little concerning though to me. Still a little concerning though to me. Okay. But Lindsey Graham approves her. You know something's wrong if Graham approves Cash as the Attorney General. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, yes, Cash Patel goes, as my job as ATF director, I want you to show Bob's and Vagana. Yes, Tachyon Black says, wait, I fucked one dog and now I'm a dog fucker? Yes. Yes. You could build 1 million bridges. But if you suck one cock, you're known as a cocksucker and not a bridge builder, as the saying goes. Yes, the AG needs to be motivated. And that's why, like Matthew Whitaker, the guy who's appointed to be the U.S. ambassador to NATO, I would rather have him be the Attorney General because he looks like he'll go kill people. So, now from here, a couple other things we're going to talk about, guys, and we'll probably be wrapping up for the night. Is this was out of California on the 19th. California, Lake County, California, by the 19th, they had 31% reporting. And I don't know if this has been updated yet. Let's see if they've got any updates, because I wanted to check and say, like, well, wait, what do you mean? Is this still going? Also, they do have the popular vote right now per the New York Times is Trump with 50% of the vote exactly. So there you go. There's still the popular vote, guys. But imagine this, though. This far after 2 weeks after the damn election, and they're still counting votes. And they were only at 31%. Like, seriously. Just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So just completely. Oh, and we do have an update, chat. Lake County, California, November 22nd, 60% reporting. The number of votes counted in the last 24 hours, 1%. So November 21st, November 22nd, November 22nd. No, they're just still counting votes. Seriously, chat. Like, what are they doing? And like, even if it's one guy just counting ballots, just one guy, I can't imagine it taking that long. Like, how many people? Like, hold on here. We're gonna do this. Lake County, California. Okay, so Lake County, California. It is in the north central portion of the state. Let's see where Lake County is. Oh, that's a big county. Holy shit, that's huge. Like square mile wise. I mean, look at that thing. That is massive. But they got a big lake in the middle. They have clear lake. Scientology, chat. They're at it again. The lake is clear. No, that's where they put Shelley. Oh my God, Clear Lake, everything. Clear Lake. No, chat. No, we can't have that. But what did we learn about Lake County? So what's the population of this? It's 68,000 people. 68,000 people. Kia Patton says San Bernardino County is the biggest county in the continental United States. Okay. Yeah. Cindy White saying, who's Shelley? So the head of the Church of Scientology is a guy named David Miscavige, and he has a wife, Shelley Miscavige. Shelley was kind of like not all on board with everything that was going on in the Church of Scientology, and Shelley has kind of like disappeared for like actually quite a long time now. She's missing basically, and people like they basically the allegation are she's being held hostage, so we don't really know. But Shelley's MIA, and people are concerned about her safety. Yeah, very likely she gone at this point. Yes, Shelley Miscavige. Oh, but there's 68,000 people there in Lake County, and they still can't get it done. Although, yes, this is very original. The county seat is Lakeport. Okay. And the largest non-extinct natural lake wholly within California. Lake Tahoe is partially in Nevada. The Salton Sea was formed by flooding, and Tulare, is that how you say it? Tulare Lake. But anyway, this is just, there's 70,000 people there, and they they can't count all the damn votes. Like, what the fuck are they doing? What are you doing? What are you doing right now? She has become completely clear, yes, when she's a skeleton. She's being held by the Sea Org in international waters. Yeah. What about Carrie Lake? Carrie Lake, yeah, she just lost. She's done. It's over. Her race is over. Oh, she's not missing. She was seen in California at a Scientology archive. Oh. Even I could have counted those votes. But yes, I would have to sit there and tally mark. Even I could have counted them by now. I can't imagine this guy, the guy who's counting them must have he must know. He must be the only person qualified to count them. So he's just milking the hours. Count 10 ballots a day. You're like, oh, I got to examine all these ballots. They're like, when are you getting done, Frank? He's like, just you guys wait. You let me take care of this. Do you know how to count the ballots? I'm making sure democracy is protected. Why are you trying to hustle democracy? And in the meantime, he's billed for 75 hours of overtime every week, probably. Tulare. Okay, Tulare. Donald Duck says the Salton Sea smells so bad. Okay, well, that doesn't, that's not very confidence inspiring. Let's see here. What are the demographics? It's actually kind of like a 50-50, well, not 50-50 split, but 2020, it was 45% Republican, 51% Democrat, and then 3% third party. Wow, that's interesting. They have a lot of third party voter there. That's a very weird place. It's a very weird place. They make Kamala look less like a loser, yeah. Jardist Extraordinaire says, I live in Maricopa County. It's been bad, yes. T from Laos says it takes a long time to handwrite 60,000 ballots. Agreed to Steady says maybe he keeps losing his place. That would be a problem. You're 34,922. Oh, crap, I've messed up. I guess you're not going to, you don't do them by, batches. He just has a big pile. Shit, I got to start over. Oh, that's sad. Hedonism 3 in Lake County. Yes. Trump once says 1% is near 400 ballots. Accounting for ballots that have already been counted, if my math is correct. Yeah, that makes sense. James Reed says the wife in the hunt for Red October was a Scientologist, and they disappeared her too. You mean Ann Archer is a Scientologist? Huh, didn't know that. Buzzsaw says, don't kill the job, Sean. So it's Tulare. Okay, Tulare. Tulare County. Tulare's County. Well, that sounds kind of sus. Why is it going to be Tulare's? He's using an abacus. He has to tell them to print more ballots. Oh, that's funny. To be fair, the write-ins take 10 times the work. They do, but I can't imagine there's any. I can't imagine that many write-ins. 2 Larrys, 1 cup. Yeah. 2 Larrys and 1 DJ. Oof. So yeah, guys, there we go. I thought that was very interesting to take a look at there. It was very. It's been very interesting to see what's going forward there. And then we have kind of one of the things we'll end with on a better, and this is where I know you have to go back. We're going to send them all back, chat. We're going to be like Ash. We're going to catch them all when it comes to illegals. We're not going to catch them all. They're all not going to go back. But what's happening in the meantime and the actions taking place, sure, why not be inspired by them? They are white pills. They are white pills. Take advantage of them. Get the high now while you can. And this is from the Texas General Land Office. Ash from Evil Dead, no, from Pokemon. Yes, we can try. Yes, we'll go for the high score. We know there's at least 20 million, so we're going to try. If we, aim, just like Werner von Braun, aim for the moon and the stars. And you know what? You still can hit London. That's okay. So this is from the Texas General Land Office in the state of Tejas. And they say the subject. This is just so crazy. Texas is offering 1,400 acres of land adjacent to the Texas-Mexico border for construction of a deportation facility. So I'm ready to offer 1,400 acres of land in Starr County, Texas, which is a county Trump won. Handily won the county. Trump won Starr County outright. And Starr County is a predominantly Hispanic county. Basically, Trump in 2024 this year has imploded all the work the Democrats have done to try to make Texas blue. So, suffer, Democrats, suffer. But they want to offer the land to construct deportation facilities. There's the Texas General Land Office owns a 1,400-acre tract 35 miles west of McAllen, Texas. We're prepared to enter an agreement to allow a facility built for processing, detention, and coordination of the largest deportation of violent criminals in the nation's history. As land commissioner, I recently acquired this 1,400-acre ranch along the Rio Grande, not near Rio Grande City. It is less than 24 hours after the purchase. I granted a 7,681-foot-long, 1.45-mile easement across the property, allowing our Texas border wall to be built. The previous owner had refused to allow the wall to be built and actively blocked law enforcement from accessing the property. Her actions enabled cartel members and violent criminals to sexually abuse migrant women and children on this land from time to time. Well, I don't know how they got it, but okay. So it sounds like it's even better. It's like, suffer, Democrat landowner, suffer. We're taking your land. Well, it sounds like they bought it, but because there's no screaming and crying on the in the news about them saying, "Oh, well, Trump stole the land or the Texans stole the land." Sounds like they bought the land up, but we'll see. We'll see. So, and if you guys are trying to figure out where, and we'll bring this up real quick. This is where Rio Grande City is. It's down by Monterey. It's way down there in the bottom of Texas. Yes, build the wall all the way, but it's a start, Chet. It's a start. I bet the lady. Oh, I'm sure the lady died, but I'm surprised her family sold the land. Sweet Bovine said, the owner, by the way, the owner of the land is the creator of Cards for Humanity. Fucking take it. Oh, suck a dick. That'd be even funnier, those people. Oh my God, that would be hilarious when this gets built on their land. They just get to go, no! No! So anyway, that's where it's going to go, is down that way. So they say, at my direction, the land office has won several significant victories. Early last year, we were able to survey several islands in the river and declare them part of the state of Texas, permitting law enforcement to end all human trafficking and drug smuggling on them. And this actually is a problem, chat. We're going to zoom in and go back to this because, here is the Rio Grande right here. There are islands that are in the river. And I don't know, I don't know if these are the islands they're talking about, but there are islands on the river, and there are spots in the river where the river does get kind of wide. There are spots where it's not too bad. But this is, here's a good example. Here's where, look how big it gets. That's a huge, look at that. That's a lot of, and actually, hold me here. So this is the whole river. This is a lot of spots. A lot of spots. This is what the river, there's an island here. There's islands everywhere. So the largest of these islands is 170 acres. Oof. And before declaring a part of Texas, it had been used as a no man's land to evade both law enforcement from Mexico and America. The island known as Fronton Island has been deemed by the Texas Military Department and the Texas Department of Public Safety as the most dangerous part of the border. Cartel on cartel violence breaks out almost nightly across the river. And if you guys have never seen how bad it is for the Texas Department of Public Safety, they have a river patrol, and they have river units. And these guys fucking roll out. It's basically the Texas Highway Patrol. And it kind of looks like you're in the middle of apocalypse now at times, because it's you have things like this. This is one of their boats. This is one of the Texas Highway Patrol's boats. It gives off vibes of yes, the Texas Ranger Riverines. Look at this thing. How many machine guns can you see on it? These guys have belt-fed machine guns because they fight the cartels and run into the cartels. You got a guy here in the back. You got a guy right here. A guy right here. You got 1, 2. This guy's got 2 twin M240s. He's got twin 30 caliber machine guns. There's probably another one up on the bow. You can look these things are just. Just look at these things. They're monstrous. These guys are ready to fight, and it's a big deal there. Here's another example. Just look at this. This one actually has 2 twin machine gun mounts in the front of it. And they got one in the back, and there's probably another one on the other side. This is what they need, and they probably want more. Yes, never get out of the boat. Never get out of the boat. Two Scoop says, I was hoping it more like the PBRs with the big inboard diesels and the torpedo. Look, you're thinking of PT boats. I was thinking of because they had fiberglass jet powered boats back in Vietnam. They should be using them all the time. They do. Egregious says Texas hires ex-SWIC guys to run the boats. That sounds like fun. Oh. Jefferson says the highway patrol needs boats is crazy. Yeah, well, they're in charge of protecting. They're part of the Department of Public Safety, and the border of Texas and the river needs to be patrolled. So, yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of Vietnam. It should. These guys just start playing Fortunate Son in the background, I guarantee, how many times they probably have done that while they're roaring down the river with machine guns going, just playing. Just playing that, I can only imagine. This is a 36 yellowfin. Look them up. Yeah. Yes, PT boats were plywood, but the PBR boats were made out of fiberglass. And they're all gone. They've been all destroyed. You should see their helicopter teams. Yeah. It's not the fastest boats anymore. Yeah, well, still, it's very interesting how things are going here. And then we'll finish up this letter. And then we will get on to the last things we have, because we have just 2 more stories and we'll be done. We can end on some interesting news that's out there. So, they talk about the cartel and cartel violence breaking out nightly. The initiative to secure the island, to clear it of all brush, vegetation, install razor wire was named Operation Flat Top. And it sounds like they basically bulldozed the island and set it on fire and burned all the brush out. So they got rid of Operation Flat Top is a success, and they said, we are available at your disposal to help you secure the border. Let us know if we can answer any questions. Don Buckingham, MD. That's a pretty base doctor. That's a pretty base doctor. I'll just say there. So, yeah. You should look into the Rogue Navy SEAL team. There is not a Rogue Navy SEAL team out there taking down the cartels, because you know what would happen? There would probably be another group of Navy SEALs or U.S. Special Forces guys, probably like 7th Group dudes. Well, hold on, 7th Group to South America? I think so. 7th Group dudes who are probably helping them facilitate drug running and cartel activity, who are going to be going after them to stop it, to protect what they have. So you're going to see, like, you seeing SEAL teams fighting each other. But if they were really going after the gangs, you would know it, because it would just be like, it'd be like the movie Savage. You'd see shit going down all the time. There is no rogue SEAL team out there. As much as it sounds like it'd be fun, it's not happening. And I was kind of only joking about, like, the 7th Group defending cocaine stashes or doing rogue ops, other SEAL teams doing rogue ops for drug stuff, because that's totally never happened. Yes. So, I'm part of Sandwich Team 6. Yes, I am. I'm a gravy seal. Of course I am. My favorite book is 50 Flavors of Gravy. That's my favorite book. The movie would open with me denying the rogue teams, and then they cut immediately to the rogue teams. Yeah. All right. So moving on from there, chat, there is an update for the Trump cases. This came out today, hot off the presses. We had talked about this last night. Trump was asking for things to be stayed and wants to file a motion to dismiss. And the DAs were not necessarily supporting any of this. Well, this came from the Honorable Juan Merchan. Judge Merchan. And this is the judge who oversaw Trump's case. And he filed this today. If you guys are not seeing this, November 22nd, 2024. So it's hot, chat. It's a hot new single on the streets. So he says the court received submissions. And what they want to do now is hereby ordered that defendants request for leave to file a motion to dismiss, meaning because you have to ask for permission. There are times where you're not allowed to file a motion. You need permission from the court. You ask for leave of the court to do something. The court is granting that. Leaving for motion to file a motion to dismiss pursuant to Criminal Procedure Law 210.40 is granted. And it's further ordered that the joint request for a motion to continue is granted. The defendant's motion is due by the close of business on Monday, December 2nd. So that is in a week and a half from now, chat. So remember, we have Thanksgiving next week. And then, after Cyber Monday, It's due. The people's response, meaning the state of New York, they're the people, remember, their response is due by the close of business on Monday, December 9th. The court will not accept reply briefs, and that just means, oh, crap, sorry. So, sorry, Chad, I forgot to share this. My bad. So here's what they're going to do. They have till December 2nd. The state is till December 9th. The court will not accept reply briefs. Now, what is the judge saying here? He's telling them, because normally, a lot of times when you submit a brief, Trump would submit a brief, the prosecutor gets to respond, and then Trump could respond to that. It's called a reply brief. And then there are times where the DA can respond. And we see this especially in lolcow cases, where lolcows have filed lawsuits. It goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Motion, 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 motion. He says, nope, you both get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. Because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. So he says everybody gets one shot. And it's ordered that the application to stay the decision on the other motion is granted. Now, this is the one about Trump's immunity issue. That's being put on hold while the motions to dismiss are being argued. And it's the joint application for the stay of sentencing, meaning it's being continued, is granted to the extent that the November 26th date is adjourned. This is the above decision in order of the court, signed by Judge Merchan. Now, what does this mean for him? I think, and I said this earlier today, I think Judge Merchan has realized he's run out of road. There's nowhere left for him to go. I think he was hoping Trump could lose, and then that way he could probably sentence him, and then maybe Trump gets it overturned later. I think that Trump wins this on an appeal, and I think Merchan realizes he's going to have to dismiss this and just dump the case because it's bullshit. Ultimately, this was meant to saddle Trump, get him convicted, so they could run around screaming in the election, 34 felony convictions! And now they're convicted felon! Well, he's not going to be convicted much longer. It's going to get overturned. And I think Merchan's going to do it. So I think that's where we are. So it'll be very interesting. It'll be very interesting, but yeah, Merchan's daughter still got the bag. They got their bag. They did their job. Their job was to be a hatchet man and get Trump, charged with felonies and convicted. And they got a guilty plea out of it. They got what they wanted, and now it doesn't matter anymore. So, yeah. Yes, where the sidewalk ends for poor Juan. I think so. I think the sidewalk ends, where the sidewalk ends, the road begins. But I think Merchan has run out of road. There's nowhere else for him to go. So, DC killing sprees delaying the sentencing is unheard of. I've had sentencings delayed before. That's not unheard of. It just shows how corrupt he is. Yeah, well, he doesn't have the balls to sentence Trump because he knows if he does that, he's going to be in the pages of history forever in a bad way. And he knows the courts are going to stomp him right away. He knows that they're going to stomp him right away. So I think he is very mindful, and I think he's probably also worried about retribution at the end of the day. So, let's see here. Did somebody say something to me? All right. Who would arrest Trump? I mean, if he ordered to, I bet the cops would do it. You'd like to think they won't, but little Sally needs braces and they want their pension. So cops will do what they're told. Who's going to come take your guns? Not the military. It'll be Officer Bob down the street. And he'll kill you to do it because he needs to pay his mortgage and, Susie needs to play violin lessons. But yeah, one day changes everything. Yeah. One day in November. You live in interesting times, chat, and we are living in some very interesting times. And then the last thing, chat, this was interesting. I saw this, and it's very much Some Gold Star families, and I'm not making fun of them, but what they presented with this to Trump, it's almost like it's something crafted out of Zelda. Or it's basically like something like National Treasure. Like, this is what you need. It's like, it's comparable to the Spear of Longinus. It's like, it's the Spear of Destiny for America. So they presented President Trump with a knife forged from different things here. So he was provided by these families with a knife. And there are parts of this knife that are very interesting in what they've been provided. So this is by the knife maker himself. Here's what he talked about when he made the knife here.
First off, I'm a veteran of 10 years, and when this happened, it spoke to me in a way that I can't put into words. When I was asked to be a part of this and make this on behalf of the Abigate Coalition, I knew I had to do something special. So this knife, one of my best friends is the operator that exterminated al-Baghdadi. Yeah. And this blade is forged.
And if you guys don't remember, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the head of the Caliph of the ISIS Caliphate, he got snuffed out during a Delta Force raid. They ended up finding him down the hall, and he blew himself up. They chased him down a tunnel in Syria. And it was a Delta guy and a dog handler and another Delta guy and their dog who ended up like chasing him down. But yeah, they ended up going after him and they took him out. So that's who they're talking about here.
With steel from the door that al-Baghdadi was hiding behind. The black part of the steel in this samurai blade, steel directly from that door. The guard is 18th century wrought iron from a wagon wheel that crossed the U.S. on the Oregon Trail. The handle is white oak from the last known tree that George Washington planted that fell at Mount Vernon at 240 years old. And the backdrop is the actual shirt that the operator wore when he shot al-Baghdadi in the face. Yeah! It is an absolute honor to present this on behalf of the Abigate Coalition.
So that's what happened here. And here's the actual close-up of it. So, yes, the blade. And if you guys, Sanmai is a type of blade forging style. But yes, the blade was steel recovered from one of the doors in al-Baghdadi's compound. The guard is wrought iron, which that is a bitch to, because I do a little bit of forging. Wrought iron is a pain in the ass to work. So good job on them. Came from a wagon wheel that went across the United States. And then the handle is a white oak from one of George Washington's last trees that was planted at Mount Vernon. It fell over in a storm. And then the backdrop is a shirt, one of the tactical shirts worn by one of the, the operator who actually put in the work on al-Baghdadi. So, yeah. It's a nice Damascus pattern. It is. It's very beautifully done. Why has it got the Under Armour logo on it? Because they contracted that out to Under Armour. So, yeah, very nice tank construction. Yeah, this is very much like something, you would. And I'm not mocking the thing. I just think this is really epic. This is something, for National Treasure. Like Nicolas Cage, she's like, I need to find the knife, the Trump knife, the knife of destiny. With this knife, this is how you must kill. Karl Marx comes back from the dead, zombie Karl Marx. And the only way to kill him is to plunge this knife into his chest. Trump's soul is going to inhabit it when he dies. And Barron will consult the knife to guide the future. Yes. This is, you know what this is? This is the Soul Calibur, chat. America finally has a Soul Calibur. The knife of retribution. Yes. So, no commie shall stand before this blade. Yes, the knife of retribution. Robert Lawrence says Under Armour is the brand. Yeah, but guys, Delta Force has the ability and requisition capability to get whatever they want. So they probably contracted that out. Yeah, it's a combat shirt. So what they would do is you'd have the camo parts exposed, And then the part that's green is where you'd wear like a plate carrier or chest rig. So, yeah. Yes, there can only be one. Oh. The blade of Kami's bane, yes. The knife can untrune troons, yes. Oh, so much memetic energy. I know, chat. There is meme energy in this. Even though it's from the Gold Star families and all that, I think they would even agree there's some meme magic in there. So, don't touch it. You'll be forced. You'll force me to main your character in a video game franchise for decades. Oh, I have no rival. Oh, people are going to get so confused by some of our artifacts after the West ends. Yes. Trump's splinter. There we go. Trump's splinter. Yes. Do you think he holds the knife up to Melania's throat while he bangs her? He's not Puerto Rican, Kimbo, okay? Come on now. So, all right, chat. With that said, we are going to wrap this up here. It glows in the presence of the woke. We got to read some of these super chats, and we're going to wrap it up because next, Matt Lewis here, Fudbuster is going to come on. We are going to talk about the filings that were made by Cody Wilson in his Matt's copyright lawsuit against Cody Wilson. It's very interesting. It's very good. It's very good. We're going to get to that. So let's start here. T-Rex Trucking and Morris says, it's going to be amazing when Kamala has to certify the election for Donald Trump. Yes, it is. She will have to do that. Just like Al Gore had to do it. It's like Safa. Just like Mike Pence had to do it. Safa Mike Pence. Mark Baraniuk for $13.99. 7 toonies, chat. 7 Canadian toonies. Or almost 14 loonies. Left him speechless. Thank you, Mark. Cassie says Matt Gaetz is being blackmailed. The guy already has been prosecuted. His name is John something. It's been a few years back. Yeah, the whole Matt Gaetz thing, there was this weird thing of like this former Air Force officer was trying to blackmail and extort the family for like $25 million. Yeah, there was a whole weird thing about it. Slow-Mo Savage has just become a YouTube member. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Adam A says, should Trump leave NATO and nuke Ukraine or just leave NATO? I mean, like it's, don't worry, the Russians are going to nuke Ukraine on their own. So we'll just leave it alone. We'll let them do it. Tony Galati says, Pam Bondi's a stupid bitch. At times, it's hard not to agree with some of the stances she takes. Tech Guy says, how dare Ukraine exist? Well, no, it's how dare they ask us to help. I don't mind if they exist, but that's their problem, not mine. Hutch the Dirty Roofer says, thank you. By the way, 20 months. That's crazy. Thank you for the support, man. Says, Sean, I fell. Cement shoes are proper, right? Yes, they're never a bad idea to have cement over shoes. Mars 10 says, can you imagine a world without lawyers? I certainly can. It would be a horrible place. Midnight in Exile says, every Yaley I've ever known has been a raging homosexual. Well, I guess that's bad for J.D. Vance. Sergeant Dornan is a new member. Thank you. Thank you for the support. And then he turned around and gifted 5 subs. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the generosity. Much appreciated, man. Malcolm Cohen says, what would happen when Jose Ibarra's body when he dies? I don't know. I hope it gets ground up and, flushed down the toilet. So maybe his body gets to go home to Venezuela. I don't know if anybody wants him. DF88, we already covered this. Yes, you were right. It was Type 59 tanks. Altimer says Louisiana still has marshal judge systems. Yeah, in some places it might have constables, but generally the marshals have the same powers as sheriffs and their judicial district of the judge. Okay. Good to know. I didn't remember Louisiana is its own entity because of the Napoleonic codes they use and are built on. Jefferson Post says he probably gets better meals in the Fed than in Venezuela. Yeah, he does, and I'm sure we'll catch the brother coming back across the border again very soon. Unhung Hero says, car bombings. Do you live in Youngstown, Lamau? Hey, remember, Cleveland was known as Car Bomb City, USA in the 70s. But yeah, Youngstown's not far away. I can get to Youngstown in an hour. DF88 says, Grand Dragon Sean. I thought it was the Cyclops was the guy in charge. And then Nico says, San Dimas High football rules. It does. It does. Jason Lazat says, joining the stream, thoughts on Russia using the new hypersonic missiles that can hold nuclear warheads and his threat. Well, it's not a new missile. It's a ballistic missile, and a ballistic missile is hypersonic by definition because it's going faster than Mach 5. It was a regular nuclear missile. They just pulled the nuclear bombs out of it and just let the warhead bodies slam into the ground. So, by definition, anything re-entering the atmosphere is going to be hypersonic because it's going 17,000 miles an hour. That's the re-entry speed. I do think it was a very big thing. I mean, he's saying, like, I'm tired of fucking around. I'm being very serious. Like, that is a massive thing to launch a nuclear missile. Even though it was empty, he did it and didn't tell anybody. And I'm sure that's everybody in NORAD shit their pants when they saw it on the radar. So, yeah, I think it's their point. They're fucking serious. And then Jefferson Post says, how hard did Rashawn crap himself after the election? Oh, I don't think he crapped himself, but I think he was like, God damn it. You know, his chance to further be in history when he has Trump frog marched off to Rikers Island had just went poof. So, yeah, I think he was very upset that went away there. Yes, it was to also functionally advertise the ability of their ICBMs. Yep. But I think that was also not to show just the functionality, but also to show, like, we're serious. We're serious. We're getting very serious. We're willing to waste something very important. Judge Mershon Oivade, his name's Juan. They don't do a lot of oiving. The Pentagon was warned the missile would be fired. Yeah, but even then, still, seeing that launch was going to scare the shit out of a lot of people. Amateur Iconoclast says a MIRV, the multiple independent reentry vehicles. Yeah, they aren't conventional weapons. They weren't meant to be. It was just meant to demonstrate, look what we're going to do. But that said, it's smacking into the ground at 17,000 miles an hour. That's a kinetic weapon. That's kinetic bombardment. And Jardis says it's an IRBM, not an ICBM. Okay. If it's got multiple independent, like, okay, it's, yes. There's the Yars, there's the Topol, there's the Ruzube. Yeah, they're basically all the same thing. They're derivations of an ICBM. And yes, if you're slapping a MIRV on it, it basically is an ICBM. Even if you want to call it an intermediate range ballistic missile, that it's basically an ICBM. We're not going to have a Reddit discussion over this, chat. We are not actually this chat. We are not tonight. Not tonight, good sir. Not tonight. Still not an ICBM, actually. Chat. Jardis is right. You don't get to join this chat, J-Rock. No, sir. Europe isn't a real continent anyway. Oh, it's actually the same continent, so it could be. Oh my God, chat. Oh my God, I want to die sometimes. Sometimes I just want to die. Existence is pain. You're dead worth stuff. I understand that, but you are really making a semantic argument that doesn't matter here. They pissed away a critical defense resource to show how serious they are. They expended one. They lit one off out of their nuclear missile stash to show how serious they were. So The chat keeps editing Son. I know. I'm getting Reddited in real time here. Stabby says, I had the same argument one time while drunk with an IHOP waiter. Stacy said, this is the audience you've cultivated. I know. I've literally built my own framework for my own torment, my own lament. Trump wants his thoughts on your ICC and the warrant against Netanyahu. Fuck the ICC. Launch one of those at the ICC next. Oh. So, Benjamin Lewis says they shot one in the air for the dead homies. Yeah. Oh, God. Am I winning? I don't know. Sometimes I don't feel like it. All right, chat. So that is it. Lawyer bummed out about terms of art. Swim in different waters. These things happen. I think if you were to... I think the experts would argue you're arguing not too much of a distinction there. Either way. We are all done for the night here with this chat. Thank you, 503 of you guys here. Please like and subscribe if you're new. We do this. We'll be doing updates throughout, like I said, up till January 20th. There's still 2 months to go. And there's a lot of happenings that can happen in the meantime. That will happen. And anyways, I appreciate you guys being nerds because it's fun that way. Otherwise, this would be really boring. But yes, I appreciate it, Jardis. I do need to suffer sometimes. It's good for you to suffer. It's good. With that said, though, guys, give me about 15 minutes and we'll fire up the stream with Matt. I got to get a hold of him, make sure he's available. We'll be doing the stream, going over the response that Cody Wilson filed in the copyright infringement lawsuit that Matt filed against Cody. It should be very good. It is hilarious. When's this Groom and Cody stream? It'll be in about 15 minutes, hopefully. So maybe a little, not any sooner, but maybe a little bit later. I got to check Matt's availability. So in the meantime, chat, thank you guys for all being here. And I will say, God bless America, long live the Republic, and long live the Emperor of Mankind. And also, I still think it counts as an ICBM. So there. Oh, yes. And Conor McGregor had a rough day in court today, it looks like, over in Ireland. So, yes, it'll be over here on YouTube, chat. So good night, everybody, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. See you guys in just a short while. You're wrong.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy that Kaden yelled?